Hi, and welcome to unboxing Brambleberry's natural bath bomb kit. So I love bath bombs or bath fizzies, whatever you want to call them, but this is the first time that I'm making this natural bath bomb. You know, this one here is all natural, which is really nice. So, and I know a lot of people like to do just all natural, especially when they're having a nice bath, and this one here looks wonderful. So I'm gonna put just a few with flower petals, and the other ones I'm gonna use sea salt, of course. I love the pink sea salt. Well, I think it'll look nice on there. So we'll do a few with the flower petals and a few with the sea salt, and we'll see how it looks and go from there. So this gives me the recipe. Of course it has the sodium bicarbonate, citric acid, pink sea salt, coconut oil, which I love, and then it has some essential oil, and it has polysorbate 80, and then it has some rose petals, so that's really nice. And then in addition to that, it comes with 15 plastic disc molds to make your bath bombs. It has a little bottle of witch hazel to spray, and I'll show you how to use that. It comes with gloves. I already have my gloves on. And then a dropper, a large, what you'll need is, in addition to those things that come in the box, you're going to need a few things on your own, which is the large mixing bowl, a small glass cup, a spoon, measuring cups, and a mesh strainer. So those are a few of the things that, make sure you have on hand when you're going to make them. And it also gives you some inspiration to make some other things at Brambleberry. So it kind of shows you this one here. This looks really nice. It's the pink salt and gold cold process soap. I haven't made it yet, but it does look really nice. I think I want to make it. So maybe we'll do that together sometime. And then it comes with these cute little, you have to cut them out. So you have to pair of scissors. Cut out the circles, they're not perforated. So you cut the circles out, and then you can put them on the little discs. Let's just take it out. Okay, here we go. All right, so here we are, our little discs. We have really nice size, so, fit in the palm of your hand. I have petite hands, but yeah, they're gonna be really nice. They come with the little covers, and so those are used to make the shape of the bath bomb, and it also can serve as a way to store them and keep their shape, or to sell them or gift them to someone. So that's really nice. And here is the really beautiful red rose petals. I love roses. There's a couple of beautiful botanical gardens. Whenever I'm traveling, I try to go to some botanical gardens, but locally here in Virginia Beach, we have the Norfolk Botanical Garden, and it has the most beautiful rose garden. It's very large, all different types of roses. It's just gorgeous. And I'll leave you the link to that. If you ever are in the area, that is a must-see place. And this is the coconut oil that we'll have to melt down, I imagine. Ooh, and here is the sea salt. It's very fine, so it's small, very fine sea salt. And of course, here is our citric acid that we'll need. Sodium bicarbonate, got a big thing of that. We have the witch hazel, nice little spray bottle. I love these little spray bottles, and they're very handy, easy to use. The polysorbate 80, and the lavender 40, which is an essential oil. Okay, so that's the box, and so we'll go ahead and make some of these, okay? Okay, so what I've done is I've prepared on a tray, I've prepared the containers. So there's 15 of these on the container. And then as the next step, I melted the coconut oil, so you can see it's nice and liquidy now. And then we're going to go ahead and prepare the molds with the red rose petals, and also a medium grain sea salt. So we're going to do, some of each one. So I'm going to go ahead and put those in. Just kind of put put them in a little bit at a time. You don't need much, you know, you just want a little bit of an accent. I'm just gonna put in a few. It makes it look nice. It makes it look very inviting, and it'll look nice in the bathtub area where you've kind of displayed maybe your soaps and your bath bombs. And the next row, I'm gonna go ahead and use the sea salt. So again, just putting a few in there, and then we'll go ahead and add the petals to the next row. The petals are very pretty. Maybe what I'll do is, with this row, is put both. Let's be a little creative. I'm gonna put a little bit of both and see how that looks, you know. So we're gonna try that out. So we've got a row of petals only, a row of sea salt only, and then a row of rosebuds and sea salt. Okay, we're gonna mix all the dry ingredients together. So that's where I've got this mesh strainer. I have my step-by-step instructions here, so it's telling me, you know, to go ahead and mix the dry ingredients. So I'm going to put in the baking soda first, which is the sodium bicarbonate. This one. I'm going to put all of this baking soda in, and we're gonna kind of strain it through. But you can see there's like a lot of clumps. I'm gonna push those through after. So just kind of, with your hand, kind of knead them through. You can even pick them up and just kind of break those little clumps up. Sometimes, you know what I do with sometimes what I do is I'll gift some of the things that I make to people that do things for me, like my horse's farrier. A farrier is the person that comes out every 6 weeks to file my horse's hooves down, because, you know, in the wild, their hooves would naturally file themselves down, but being that they're not wild animals, they have to have their hooves filed down every like 4 to 6 weeks, usually 6 weeks, depending on what you're doing with your horse. So so she comes out. She's wonderful, Brittany. She's a great farrier. I'm really so happy to have her working with my horse. Very patient and very knowledgeable. So anyhow, so I give her like some of I made these beautiful lavender bath bombs. That was a brambleberry recipe too. And it had natural lavender in it, like this one will. And so I'm gonna gift her some of these as a thank you for, you know, working with my horse. So they make nice little gifts. There we go. Acid. And we're going to go ahead and add the entire thing. So it's 2 to 1, so it's 2 pounds of the sodium bicarbonate and 1 pound of the citric acid. So if you were to cut this recipe down in half, it'd be pretty easy to do that. So we're gonna add a cup of the pink sea salt, and that's this very fine pink sea salt. Okay, so I've got a cup of pink sea salt. Add that in. Okay, so I'm gonna mix it all together. I'm just gonna use this. To get at the bottom, I'm gonna use my spatula to get it just to mix together a little bit better. It's pretty heavy, you know, it's got the 2 pounds of the baking soda and a pound of the citric acid, and then a cup of the pink sea salt. So we're gonna go ahead and mix the wet ingredients together. Okay, so I'm going to measure out. It says to add a half a cup of the melted coconut oil. So we're going to use 4 ounces. So I measured out the half cup of coconut oil, and I'm going to go ahead and add all of the lavender 4042. And this is a trial size, which usually that means it's a 1.75 ounces. Smells like beautiful lavender. Love it. Okay, so we're adding all of the bottle in there. And then we're going to use this polysorbate 80. We're going to use 12 milliliters. So we have the coconut oil, the lavender essential oil, and the polysorbate 80 all mixed together here. So I'm just going to use a spoon to kind of mix it all together. Okay, so we're going to mix it together. I don't know if you, maybe if you've got children, you might remember making Play-Doh. This is what it reminds me of. We would make homemade Play-Doh, use food coloring to make the different colors. I think you can find the recipes online. We're making a Play-Doh at home. It's always fun. I used to do that with my son. We would make the Play-Doh. It was great. You know, it was easy to do. It was fun to make. And then they would have fun playing with it. So I think this is a recipe that, or you know, a box kit that you could use with children to help you. Make sure they wear little gloves on their hands, because you don't know if children, they have more sensitive skin sometimes, you know, so you want to make sure that they protect their skin with some gloves. Okay, so I'm going to see how this is sticking together. So it's sticking together pretty good. Look at that. That's pretty nice. So it should hold its shape when you squeeze it, but you can see it's a little crumbly. So that's when we can add some of our witch hazel. So here's the witch hazel. They wrap it with this black electrical tape so it doesn't leak in the boxes, which is really nice. So okay, so we can go ahead and use this nice little spray bottle. Just kind of spritz it. I'm gonna mix that in. This is holding together nice, you can see. It's getting better. We're gonna start filling in these molds, the fun part, right? So yeah, I think these are pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the first batch. So you can see, we're gonna press them down and, you know, continue to fill them. And it's gonna be nice. I'm gonna fill them up, press them down. That way it's nice and tight and it'll form together. These containers are easy to, you know, work with. And I'm gonna continue to put the mix into the containers, and then I'll be back with you. Yeah, they're looking good. Yeah, I think they're gonna look really nice. I was really happy to have a little extra. I noticed with the kits sometimes, you know, it just, they want to make sure you I guess have enough, and if you you know, I could have filled these up a little bit more, but I still probably would have had extra even if I filled them up a little bit more. I want to make sure that these little tops fit through, you know, because they've got this little lip. And so they would have to, like, you know, clip on like that. So they clip on really nice. And so once they're dried, I'm going to dry them overnight. It says you can let them dry 3 to 4 hours, but I'm going to let them dry overnight. And they don't want the lids on them. Let them dry to the air. And then once they're dry, I can clean up the containers and go ahead and put their caps on, and then they'll be ready to be gifted or stored, you know, for a future bath. Hi, so I am back and I've cleaned up the molds, and they look pretty good. So this is one of them. I want to show you what they would look like after they've set for a little while. So they've set for quite a few hours, and so they're good to unmold. And so I wanted to show you how that would look. So just putting a paper towel down so it captures any of the loose bits that come out. So here we go, and there we are. So this is the bath bomb, and I think it's wonderful. I love how it looks. I didn't use a lot of petals, you can see, but I like how it looks. You could use more, but I like just using a few. And it's got the beautiful pink sea salt mixed in there with very moisturizing coconut oil. So that's wonderful. So I'm gonna put it back in its container. And then, you know, we did a couple of different ones, so I'll show you what they look like. So we have the one where it was just the sea salt on top instead of the rosebud. And so here it is with the sea salt topping, and I like that a lot. And then the third one was the mixture of the two. So we have both the flower petals and the rose petals and the sea salt. So it's kind of mixed together. Really like that too. I like all of them, of course, but you know, I think having some different ones make it a little more fun. So here are the little stickers that came with it. I had to cut them out, and they release. You just have to bend them a little bit, and it'll peel off, which makes it a lot easier. So then you can go ahead and put it on top. I need to clean this one off, but you can just go ahead and put it right on top of the lid, and that way you've got your label on there, and then it makes it look, you know, more finished look to it. So then we've got the label on. So that was kind of cool. We have 15 of the bath bombs, but only there were only 9 labels that came with it, which is okay. We're gonna try one out anyhow, so I won't need 15 labels, but you can always make labels anyway, so that's fine. And if you're giving it to someone, you know, you can give it without the label. It's perfectly fine, but I kind of like it. It looks more finished look to it for gifting. I also want to show you how the floral bath bombs came out. So I haven't taken a peek yet, so let's see how they turned out. Okay, so first I'm going to do the one that looks like a little sunflower and release that one. Comes right out. Oh, well, the the salt didn't quite stick where I wanted it to, so it didn't quite come out as good as I had hoped. Still cute. I think we're going to use this one as our test one, though. So that didn't work, putting the salt down for this type of a mold. It really didn't form very well. So that's that one. So let's try the next one. Hopefully it looks better. This will be another flower. This one I put the rose petals on, and for this mold they're really not sticking. This will be one of my home spa ones. So this will be for home use. And let's see how the one that looks like a zinnia came out. Okay. So I would say that the flower molds didn't really turn out that well. I've used these before for another bath bomb and they came out fine, but I think because I was trying to put the sea salt down, that, you know, not all the details in there because we had the salt. It can be cleaned up a little bit. So I'm just gonna move these little flower ones out of the way. Those will be for at home. For my home spa. They'll be perfectly fine to use. They just aren't as nice looking as our little mold ones here. These molds were really good. They came out really nice. So let's try this. Okay, so I've got my water here, and we can see how this will fizz, you know, in the water. Here we go. So it has really good bubbles. You can see that. I mean, it's really, you can even hear it. It's gonna make for a wonderful bath fizzy or bath bomb. I like to call them bath fizzies because they fizz up. So it looks really good and should be really moisturizing for the body with the coconut oil. And it's got the pink sea salt in it, you know, the more fine sea salt. And so it should be really great for a bath. The kit from Brambleberry, I really enjoyed making it. Would recommend, you know, trying out the kit if you like to make some bath bombs. I do like these disc molds. These are great, and they make a nice, you know, you can pack them in there and get a really good shape, so that was really nice. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you liked it, click like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Have a great day.